again, everyone. Scott Player Pop Gold fan here, and in this video, I want to review two video games for you in anticipation for Pokemon Legends Arceus coming out next Friday. I'm counting down the days, 7 days from now, 1 week. I'm really excited for Legends Arceus, as you all know, and I thought it would be fun to go back and review two Pokemon games that I do consider main series games, even though some people might consider them spin-off games, which is also can be said about Pokemon Legends Arceus, because Legends Arceus, it's not a core main series game, because it's called Legends Arceus, and it's also only one game, it's not multiple versions, so there's that. That's also similar to the games I'm about to review. And there's also the fact that Legends Arceus, it just, once again, just like Sword and Shield, like I said in my Sword and Shield review quite a while back, Legends Arceus borrows a lot from these two games that I'm about to review, because these two games are Pokemon Colosseum, and Pokemon XD, Gale of Darkness. And it's been a while since I played these games, but I know these games by heart. I really do. I played them all the time on my GameCube, when I still had my GameCube, and even when I played these games on my Wii. I love these games. They're very underrated, if you ask me. Pokemon Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness, I think they're vastly underrated. And they're some of my favorite Pokemon games, if you ask me. They have really good music, hands down. If there's anything worth praising about Pokemon Colosseum and Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, it's the music. A lot of the battle themes are memorable, including Mirror B, like his battle theme in Pokemon Colosseum, and especially in XD Gale of Darkness. It's great music. So definitely Colosseum and XD. Both of these games are just really fun to play, and I'd argue that these two games are probably some of the hardest Pokemon games to play, because every battle in these games are double battles, at least in Colosseum. There are a few single battles in XD Gale of Darkness, but it's mostly double battles, just like Colosseum. And there's quite a bit of a challenge, in some of the later boss battles in Pokemon Colosseum, and XD too as well, to a degree. I think because in double battles there's a lot more to think about, there's a lot more strategy involved, and I really like that. And these games kind of force you to think more strategically when defeating bosses and stuff like that, and also snagging shadow Pokemon, which is something to be said, because a lot of elements from these games are reused in Sword and Shield and in Legends Arceus, which I didn't mind that when I played Sword and Shield, but it definitely showed. And Legends Arceus, once again, it battles another concept, just like Colosseum and XD did, where Pokemon are out of control, and you see something about the Pokemon that is noticeable. Like the alpha Pokemon in Legends Arceus have red eyes, and the noble Pokemon give off a very glowy aura. So it's similar to Shadow Pokemon in Colosseum and XD, and also, like, if you really think about it, Pokemon Go reintroduced Shadow Pokemon. In Pokemon Go, Pokemon have red eyes when they're Shadow Pokemon. So there's a lot of elements of Pokemon Go and Pokemon Colosseum and XD that made their way into Legends Arceus, and I can definitely see that. And but specifically talking about Colosseum and XD Gale of Darkness, I just really enjoy these games, and I think, in my opinion, Pokemon Colosseum it has a lot of dark underlying tones. It's a more mature game in a lot of ways. I like a lot of the settings and locations in Colosseum and XD, and how slummy the city of Pirate Town can be in Pokemon Colosseum. And what's cool about these games is that you have Cypher and Team Snag'em. They're both two evil teams, and in Colosseum, you play the character of Wes, and the character of Wes was formerly a bad guy. And the opening cutscene of Colosseum, Wes is quite literally blowing up Team Snag'em's base, which is a very badass scene to watch, and it's really cool. And Wes is one of he's the oldest protagonist you've ever played as in a Pokemon game. So there's a lot of aspects of Colosseum that I just really appreciate compared to a lot of other Pokemon games. And I'm really excited for Legends Arceus because it could very easily fall under the same category as Colosseum and XD, having a more rich story to tell because of what it's because of the nature of the game being a prequel to Diamond and Pearl. There's a lot of lore that can be tackled in Legends Arceus, and it could have a very rich story with a lot of underlying themes and messages and things like that with the lore, which I'm really looking forward to. I really am. Legends Arceus, there's just so much about it that is very similar to Colosseum and XD, if you ask me, but I'm still very excited for the game nonetheless. And Pokemon Colosseum, it's the first 3D home console RPG Pokemon game that was released for the GameCube all the way back in 2004. So in that way, this game, it was like a template for Game Freak in a way, because they keep going back to it. They keep bringing back elements of Colosseum in their newer games. Sword and Shield, even the human villain in Sword and Shield was similar to Evis in this game, being a well-respected public figure who ended up being the main human villain by the end. So that's similar, and I don't know if there's going to be a human villain in Legends Arceus. I'm not sure, but that's something to think about, because Arceus being the main legendary of the game, I'm guessing that within the story of the game, I'm guessing Arceus is the one pulling the strings behind the scenes, making Pokemon kind of out of control in a way. So yeah, if I had to give because these are video games, so Pokemon Colosseum, I think it's a very good game, but there are some flaws with it, and XD Gale of Darkness too, to a degree, because Pokemon Colosseum, it has a very heavy post-game, and it can be very difficult to play through, especially when you get to Mount Battle. You had to climb all 100 floors if you want to 100% Colosseum and XD, because Mount Battle is in both games. And also, purifying Shadow Pokemon in Colosseum, it can be very tedious, which is why one reason why I really like this game compared to Colosseum. XD Gale of Darkness just refined purifying Shadow Pokemon with the machine that you go to in the lab, where it's just a lot more convenient, and it's a lot more streamlined purifying Shadow Pokemon in XD Gale of Darkness. And also, XD Gale of Darkness, if I had to give a flaw to that game, it doesn't feel quite as dark, because once again, you play as a 10-year-old kid, and there's just a lot of reused areas as well, and there's more areas that don't quite have that same dark atmosphere as Colosseum. So that's those are my few flaws with XD Gale of Darkness. But overall though, I used to play these games all the time on my GameCube and on my Wii, and I just love these games. They're some of my favorite Pokemon games out of almost all of them, really, if you ask me. they're vastly underrated. And if I had to give like a percentage for Colosseum and XD, I'd probably give Colosseum like a 90%. That would be like an A minus. And Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, I'd probably give about the same grade or percentage, 90% A minus. And yeah, that should do it for this review for both of these games. Just to, you know, in anticipation for Legends Arceus, do this review for these older games that kind of started the whole 3D Pokemon craze with RPG Pokemon games for home consoles. Colosseum was the first, and also these games are also based in the Ori region, and the Ori region was based on Arizona. So, in that way, the Unova region in Black and White, it was not the first region that was based on America. Colosseum was, because Arizona was the basis for creating the Ori region in these two games. And I really like that about these games. So, yeah, I think that's about it. Just, you know, it's a lot to talk about for these two particular games because, you know, they're video games. There's a lot more to talk about with video games than movies. And I think both of these games have decent enough post games that can also be a little bit tedious. And those are my only other flaw. So yeah, that should do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch y'all next time. Peace.